panels. We're living in a world where there are much students, they can go to the schools. We know that education is so important for us to boost our country and to help ourselves in the next day. There are much students, they can go to schools with several problems, like the financial problems, and they're lazy to go to schools. And the reasons they are not go to schools, like the financials, it's because they have to help their family to get the money. It's because that we know that in the status quo the price of the school is so expensive, and they have no enough money to pay the tuitions to the schools. So we know that the government have give them as help incentive, like the scholarships. We know that in the status quo there's two types of scholarship. First, the scholarship to achievements, and second, the scholarships to who are living in the poverty. But we from the government see the scholarship is not maximalized. Yeah, it's because that there's much scholarship to achievements, and we from the government see the scholarship is failed. It's because the who want this the most is they are living in the poverty. It's because they don't have enough money. We know that the who are the customers want, they have enough money to pay the schools. So we from the government want to make the scholarship only be graded on the basis of financial necessity. It's because we want to make a more better education with our students here. We want to make better education for our country. We have to give them a best solution to with the scholarships. We have the limitations in the our motion today is only in Indonesia area. It's because we know that Indonesia is so have much of illiterate students. They have not go to the schools, and because we are so worried about conditions of our generations today, it's because our generations is the goal for our country. So we have two solutions in ourselves. First, we will give the society a solution. We will explain to the public how important the education is, and we will explain the scholarship is so helpful for them to get the nice schools. It's because that we know that the status quo they have as a perspective is because they have a perspective don't get the school because the money is so expensive. With the scholarships, it means we will explain how rare the scholarship. It's so hard to get the scholarship. It can so with this explanation, it made the society can more understand and can more enthusiastic with this education. Second, we will focus to make scholarships only based on financials. We know that in the status quo, the scholarship is not maximal. So we will make the scholarship only focus on the financial necessity. It's because we from the government who know that the who wanted it the most is the one living in the poverty because they don't have enough money. So we will make this scholarships only based on the financial necessity. We have 2 points of arguments in our side. First, why is justifiable, and the second, why is our side is more better. First arguments, why is justifiable? In the status quo, there's a lot of problems to the students not get enough education. For example, they have to help their parents to go to field to get the money. And then there are examples. The students, the parents are overwhelmed and exhausted. It's because they have a tyrant because they have to work 3 times in days. It means they don't their money only but to buy a food in the tables. So they don't enough care with this education. So we will give them the scholarships. It's so helpful from them. It's because if with the scholarship is with the basis of financials, it's make the equality in education. We know that in the status quo today, the government is not maximizing with this scholarships. They have 2 types of scholarships, and the scholarships to achievement students is more higher, the higher gift incentive from the government to the achievement one. We know that smarter one, they have a lot of money. Why that so? It's because to be a smarter one, it means you have to more lessons. You mean you have to take a course. For example, you go to the Ganesh operations or whatnot. We know that they have a lot of money to pay education. To pay education, and they have enough money to buy a food. It means it's so okay to not give them the scholarship because they just want to appreciation with the achievement. We don't have to give them the scholarship because the one and the most who are living in the poverty, they don't have enough money to buy the education. We know that this is so problematic for ourselves if we stay to focus on the to give the achievement persons. It means the quality and educations it will not be happened, and we are so worried with our conditions today. So it's so justifiable to give them scholarships only based on the financial necessity. Move to my second argument. Why our set is more better? We know that the government is so liable to the scholarships. It's because they have a lot to give much money to the achievement ones. We know that to get the scholarships, we know that the government give them financial scholarship, but to get the financial scholarships, they have to wait once a year. It means that if you fail this years, you can go to the schools if you don't have enough money to give to you. It means you have to wait 1 year, 1 year. It means you don't have. It's more living behind. It's because your friends can get the next education. It means that you have a living in poverty will be marginalized in society and more living behind and marginalized in the society. It's because you are not get the enough education. It means you don't get if it's so hard to get a blue collar job. For example, to be a teacher or police, you have to have a nice basis of education. If you don't have enough educations, it means you don't have to get this jobs. So that's why. So it's so okay to not give the smarter one. It's because they have enough money. So it's problematic and so important to give the poverty one. It's because it's a long-term project. If our models research will be happened, it will quality and education. And these people who are living in poverty will be helpful too. It's because they have enough education to get blue collar jobs and can help the degrees of their family. So it can helpful from the family. For example, they can be architect or they can be a doctor. It's so helpful and they helpful for their family, and they have got enough money to give them their shots in the next day, to give them a best education for the child. So with this our model here, with this our result from our model here, we will give the result first. We will make in equality and education. Second, the crime rate will be pressed too. It's because they have a lot of education. It means you have a nice job and you can get a jobs like a police and doctor. You can press the crime rate, and the long-term project in Indonesia can be a modern city. It's because the foundations of to be a modern city is you have to nice education. So that's why we from the government so proud to propose. Thank you.